Hi there, it's Sue Wilson, and I have a card today that is really based upon the dies. It's not too technique-y, but I think it shows off the beautiful new dies absolutely perfectly. And we will be using these two dies here. I've got the Tessa die from our frames and tags, and the Lattice window striplet. And then I'm going to be using the sentiment from the Amazing Sentiments Clear Stamp Set. So we'll do a bit of cutting to start. And I want to show off this striplet. It comes in 4 pieces, which is quite unusual for a striplet. They're usually just 2. We are going to be using the 2 inner cutting areas for this one. So I'll be using these 2 dies. Now I'm going to line up the outside of this with what I've already done. I've cut 2 of these already, and we'll tape it into place. Just line it up so the ends are equidistant apart. That's probably about right. There we go. A couple pieces of removable tape, and pop that onto our cutting plate. Give it a run through the ground caliper. Okay, let's see how we did. That looks good. Now what I'm going to do is take this off and put the other one in the center. And the reason I'm doing it that way is it's just easier when you go to cut something that's very, very detailed if you do it that direction. So do one and then the other. You can go inside to out or outside to in, but because I'm cutting a background, I wanted to use the outside portion first, so I know exactly where I needed to line up the inside. So I'll take my lattice piece, pop that right in the center, a little bit of tape, both sides. We'll run that through now. It just makes it easier because a lot of detail in a die makes it difficult to get to the different pieces. So rather than trying to struggle with it, one pass through with both dies is the way to go. Okay, peel our tape off. Oop. We're starting to come apart a little bit. There's that. And on this side. Okay. Now I'm going to use the tool-in-one here. Take out the bits. Pop that right out. You can see how beautiful that is. Absolutely gorgeous. So now we have a really nice background cut using just the inner decorative pieces to this die. So what I've done is I've gone ahead, cut one, just like that, and I've mounted it up with a little bit of foam and put a piece of sky blue card behind it, so that'll be really nice to show through. So I'll go ahead and put that onto my background. I've done a bit of my matting and layering with my paper piercing. I've added some mounting foam just to raise it up for a little dimension. You can always do it flatter if you prefer. Pop that right in the center. There we go. So now we have the base to our card prepared. So the next thing I want to do is bring in my Tessa die. And I'm going to cut the outside piece here in sky blue. So I'll bring this over. Put that into place. And let me just grab a couple new pieces there. And I'm going to use just this inner decorative die in the middle here. So we'll put that into place. Get that centered right inside of that background. That looks pretty good like that. And we'll run this through the ground caliper now. Okay, check that. I think that needs one more little pass on the edges here, so I'm going to go in the other direction. That looks good. I'll do a bit of embossing, change out my plates, put my tan mat and my pink plate over it. There we go. And let's undo that. Get all my tape off here. Lift that up carefully there. Oop. It's being a little bit picky today. There we go. That should get that off. And let's run our Tool-in-One over it and take that last little bit off there. There we go. Okay. A few little guys we've got to knock out here. Oops. Get that guy off of there. But you can see how pretty that is. Absolutely gorgeous. It's got a lot of really pretty detail in there. Now what I've done is I've used this outer die here, the one I still need to remove. There, I've used just that to cut a backing piece for it out of the milk card. So what I'm going to do is give this a quick spray with some spray adhesive. There we go. And let's tidy that up for a second. Bring this over. And we'll put those two together. There we go. Line that up and glue it into place. Okay, so what I wanted to do was create something that showed off a little bit more of the background, so I decided that I would cut this and make it a little bit smaller. So we're going to bring in a little paper cutter here, and I just like to cut it in half first. There we go. And then you can bring it back and line them up together just so they match up, and pop them where you want them on your cutting plate. Now I have 4 pieces here, so let's see what we can do. Oh, no, I'll tell you what, I'm going to cut those separately. It is too thick for this one. Like that. Now I can line this one up on top. There we go. So that will create something that's a little more square-like. So I can pop that together like this, bring in a bit of tape, and line them up together. Oops, get on there. There we go. And this is going to be hidden too, so if your cut isn't as clean as you'd like, kind of like this one, it's not going to show, so don't worry about that. But you can see that you've got a nice little, a little more squarish look than before. Now I've done one ahead of time with some mounting foam, so I'm going to go ahead and bring my background back over, and I'll put this into place, and I'm going to seat this one with the line going right down the center here. And that looks pretty good. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is do our sentiment. So I've already gone ahead and stamped one of them. So what I'm going to do is cut the center of this die, the Tessa die, using the cutting edge and the decorative piece here. So let me pop this into place like that. And we'll just get that centerpiece right into the middle of that. There we go, that should work. I'll do one more little piece right here. Okay, bring back our cutting plates, and we'll run this through. Okay. Undo. There we go. And you can see we've got a really pretty decorative piece right here. Pop out that we can put around our sentiment, so you can center it exactly how you want it. So I'll use a little bit of the spray glue. Get all those edges. There we go. And just put it exactly where you want it, around that sentiment. So you don't have to worry about stamping it crooked. Not really an issue here. Pop that right into place, and then what we'll do is bring this one back over, seat it back over that outside, take a little piece of tape, and oops, hold that, and then we'll cut it out. If you stamp first, it's easier than if you stamp afterwards, because that way you don't have to worry about lining it up exactly where you need it. It's easily done this way. Take off our tape. There we go. Pop that back into place. So you can see I've got that nicely lined up just like that. I have one I've done earlier with a little mounting foam on the back, and we'll pop that into place. And that will cover your cut line really, really nicely like that. Few simple flat back pearls, and you can embellish that, and it's easily finished. If you'd like to add a little flower element to it, you can do that. Dress it up, keep it the way it is. It's your call.